We get down to it. Really good video package, by the way, if I haven't mentioned it, between Roman Reigns, KO, and Sami Zayn. I thought that if you didn't know what the hell was going on, that video package would bring you up to speed as to what the story is as far as Sami Zayn, the Bloodline, and KO goes, right?
No, chapter 1, the honorary ooze. Chapter
Yeah.
2, like it went really good. Yeah,
Do you realize, Meelz, that this storyline has been going on since last summer?
I have.
Like, like Sammy wasn't always in it, but he was always orbiting it. And I gotta say, just off the top, okay, this is one of the best storylines they've ever done.
Period.
I,
And
I,
and to me, it's not lost on me. It features probably two of the best performers, not only in ring but outside the ring, and Sami Zayn. We've been talking about this since 2014, since Revolution 2014. That Sami Zayn, to me, I've been saying Sami Zayn is one of the best thespians that they've ever had.
mm-hmm.
Since he opted not to, um, since he opted not to use the NXT Championship on Neville and wanted to win in his own way, and then they did the whole KO thing again, Revolution,
Mm-hmm.
NXT Takeover. This man, they managed to sew in an emotional thread to their programs that makes you buy in on a level beyond the surface level.
Right.
Um, so this is why when everyone is speaking about they have to do Romy versus Sami Zayn, I'm like, oh, you're not even paying attention to what's going on, really.
No, no, and yeah, let's just get into it. I mean, I'll say the match between KO and Roman wasn't their best match. I'm willing to say that. I thought it
Yeah,
was
it wasn't.
good, but it wasn't their best match. But
And clearly overshadowed by the end.
yeah, well, clearly, but like even in the match, overshadowed by what we want to see and what we're gonna think, because we're at this point, Mills, we're not thinking that it's over tonight. No, it's gonna
Right.
happen in Montreal. It's
And
gonna
even
happen.
in the match, they're telling the story about Sammy and KO. Like,
Right.
even in the, to be real with you, Roman Reigns is the third player in this thing. He is very much so. I don't want to say a prop because I don't want to think a tribal chief, but he's very much so a vehicle to kind of showcase the relationship or lack thereof, or as we see, there's more between KO and Sami Zayn. Like,
Right.
Roman Reigns is in the middle of this, and he's being used as
He don't
this
want to
kind of
be, and he don't want to be in the middle of it.
right. And but the story to me is always between KO and Sammy, and it's always been for like years. So when people are saying it should be Sammy versus Roman at WrestleMania, I'm like, I mean, yes, the match will probably be good, but that's not what this is about. So the match goes on, it's incredible. KO gets to kick out of all the spears that I want him to.
Yeah, two is a lot. Three would have been like, all right, nigga, he's winning. But you get the visual of KO pinning Roman for what, 6 seconds. You get that visual, which is again, you're protecting KO in that way, that it's like, oh, he could have won. You know what I'm saying? But if the ref was in there, he definitely would have won off the pop up powerbomb, which I'm like, nigga, hell no. But you get the visual that he would have won had the ref not been knocked out. But throughout the whole thing, I want to one thing I love about it, I watched this 4 times, is that after every near fall, the camera will go to Sammy, or it'll be Sammy in the background. You see his face.
Absolutely.
There's one near fall where they take KO out of focus and then go into Sammy in the background, then bring KO back into focus. And I was like, they're really good at getting how he feels and what he's doing. And Heyman basically nudging him, hey, acknowledge him, nigga. Like, come on, get your shit together, get in gear, motherfucker. And you get so much stuff here, right down to the moment where Sammy finally says, stay down, stay down. He wants to end this. Stay down or he's going to hurt you.
Right.
And
It's not in an aggressive way. It's not in the way that he's done maybe over the last few months. This is one of like general, I care
concern.
for you, and this is for cautionary. You need to stay down.
Now, what do you think the moment or the key was? And I don't know if a lot of people have been like speculating this, but what do you think the moment was for Sammy when he said, you know what, like KO actually does care about me? Do you think it was the trial where Sammy was kind of like, yeah, this isn't really what I want to do?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's tough.
Um,
it's tough to say when it's not, and I know he's probably going to cut a promo where he talks about what was the moment that he knew. But I'm interested in trying to figure out what was the moment that Sami knew that the bloodline was not a fit for him, or that what they were doing to KO was a little bit further than he would have wanted to go.
It has to be. I think it's definitely the trial and seemingly Roman no longer having that full trust within him. Like sending him off. I don't want to see him on SmackDown. I don't want to see him afterwards. It looked like they were really going to lower the boom on him during the trial. And they
Right.
opted not to because of Jey Uso, which again, this is fucking storytelling. It's Jey Uso who's the one who saved Sami even in the trial a week before. So the post match happens. The entire bloodline is there.
Well, KO gets beat. He gets a New Japan type beating where he just gets everything thrown at him, and then he gets pinned. But yes, go ahead.
Super kicked after, yes, absolutely. Super kick after super kick after super kick. It's almost uncomfortable. It's the most uncomfortable super kicks I've looked in maybe like 2 decades.
There's one super kick where Jay basically like stomp kicks him in the face. It's not a super kick. He like stomp kicks him in the face. And I was like, all right, that was green. Well,
He's got an Air Force One imprint on it.
Another one moment right before that. I'm sorry to rewind here, but like when Jay's trying to put the reef over Sami, and Roman's like, hey, hold on, slow down. Like, he's like, we're not done here. And then he tells Solo to get him. Jay says, really, like, silently say yeet, and then he puts the reef on the on the post.
Subtle yeet. Yeet.
So he goes over. They're beating him up like Meelz said. They're beating him up, and then a chair comes out. And that's another thing too, Meelz. When Roman tells him to get the chair, and Sami, being the liberator and the negotiator that he is, and the little slimy little motherfucker that he is, he says, "But you told me not to do anything." And I was like, oh yeah, you're cooked, brother. And then Roman was like, "Give me the damn chair," and it was at that moment where I was like, yeah, these two types of leadership, they don't work for these two. It doesn't work for these two. You know what I'm saying? Like, not at all. So like, the chair comes out, Meelz, and continue.
The chair comes out. Roman Reigns is about to essentially blow his, KO's brains in. And Sami Zayn, as you stated before, the instigator, the great liberator, he comes in and he's like, listen, this is beneath you. We don't have to do this. He's dead. He's already dead. To which Roman Reigns is like, you know what? This is beneath me. Maybe this is. So you're going to do it.
He said, mods, crack his gym.
As Jimmy Uso, his first role in this, in the past 6 months, his first active role in this entire thing, he looks on in anger, and Roman Reigns is continuing like, you got to hit him. You got to hit him. Knock him out. Come on. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
He said, the ring is yours when you're in the bloodline. So he said, you either do this or you go back to doing jackass shit.
Man, is this how gangs really work?
Yeah. I said, first off, Sami definitely got a 65 on this test. He's definitely failing this test. But I think he just found out that he was getting jumped into the Bloods. So like, I don't know if he's really ready for all of that. So like, Sami basically says, okay. And then Roman's talking his shit. He's talking his shit. And then, well, the crowd thought he was going to do it earlier than he did it, Meelz, because when he's cranking up, and then Sami's so good at facials that when Roman's pie facing, he's like, "Are you crying?" And then Heyman's like, "There's no crying in the bloodline." Literally moments before Roman starts crying, but like he's face to face with Roman. He's like, "Yo, I'll do it." Then boom, cracks him, hits Roman in the back with the chair, reminiscent of
pop,
the biggest pop. Listen, I don't want to compare to anything, but this is the biggest pop I've heard in a really long time. I was there in Dallas when Stone Cold came out. I'm not gonna. It's up there.
But here's the thing: first of all, everyone's on their feet. Everyone's so invested.
Nobody left.
At some point, there's silence with all of this, because essentially we're watching theater. We're watching this all go down. This is the moment everyone has been waiting for the last like maybe like at least 2 months since the Survivor Series thing. They've been waiting for that kind of rekindlement. Sami reaffirmed his allegiance to the Bloodline at Survivor Series. Now, a couple months later, it's definitely way more than fractured. He hits him with the steel chair. That big pop goes, and Sami Zayn turns to his brothers and be like, "Listen,
I'm sorry,
I
can't
just
do it.
can't." Yeah.
And then Jay says, "What are you doing? I called you my
What are
brother,
you
man."
doing, man? What are you doing?
And then Jimmy hears him say, "I called you my brother," and the super kick rings off, and they start beating the shit out of him. And I tell you what, I was there in Dallas. They cheered the Bloodline. I've seen it every week, and I've said it in our chat, and I've said it to you, and I've said it on the show. These motherfuckers need to get booed because people like them way too much. They like
Absolutely.
them too much, and it's not going to be good if Cody or anyone who wins the Rumble goes in and they're trying to face Roman, because they're not going to get cheered. They booed the shit out of the Bloodline. The Bloodline is cooked. Even on Raw, they were getting boos. They're cooked. They're not going to be seen as baby faces anymore, and that was masterful the way that Triple H and creative managed to twist their fate around and get people off their sides, because I was very concerned about this. They're beating him up. Roman's crying, "I gave you everything and you did all of this." And then all you hear, Meelz, is Jay, 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 Jay. And then you notice Jay's in the corner, visibly shaken by what he's seeing. This is a guy who did not believe. And what did I say? What did I say?
Listen.
I said it was gonna be. I said Jay was gonna be in the opposite spot. I said this.
This is a man who was beaten into submission years ago.
Right.
This is a man who was
3 years ago.
3 years ago, who was his own man before, and kind of brainwashed, right, into this line of thinking, along with his brother. His brother wasn't with it too, but Roman beat his ass into submission as well. And you're watching this man who previously was unstable always throughout this entire thing, and you're watching him like malfunction in real time, right? Because all these memories and all this trauma is going through his head as he's watching his brother, who we call his brother Sami Zayn, once received a beating that he once received as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that malfunction where he's just like, I can't. He's like
That's
smoke starts. That's it.
That's the Bloodline.
When he left the ring, I was sold. I was like, oh, this took this from just a beat down, a wrestling storyline. These are real, like not real emotions because it's all fake, but
it's real. It can be real. It can be real.
This is as real as it gets, right? This is like something. This is something completely left, and it's less of I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as a bad guy, and more like he's staying true to the character that he is.
Because because Meelz, it's betrayal on both ends when you think about it, right? From Jay's end, it's a betrayal from Sami, but really, is it? Or is it Sami truly doing the right thing and what family would do, right? Because that's why he's conflicted. KO is essentially his family. Sami is not their family, but KO is Sami's family. So Jay's like, is that really a betrayal? If you're beating, if someone's beating on my brother, I'm gonna protect my brother.
Right.
The same thing the Bloodline would do if someone attacked them. You know what I'm saying? So like Jay is essentially like, yeah, that's what I would have did too. I like this guy. He stands up for people. You know what I'm saying? He stood up for us the same way he stood up for KO. You know what I mean? And that's the emotional kind of sense about it. And it's like, yo, who is really right or wrong here? But it's like at the end of the day, like KO and Sami do this all the time. You know what I mean? Like but they still love each other. They still have respect for each other. And that's a respect that Roman just doesn't have for anyone. See, the thing is that Roman gaslights and manipulates everyone to do the things that he wants them to do. But Jay's the only one who has free will, the same way that Sami had free will to say no. And Jay seeing that is like, oh, fuck, he said no. I said no once. And they did the same thing to him too. So a big thing with this, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean he walks out to cheers. I think this
Yeah.
is again, people are invested within the characters, all the characters in this. Not quite Jimmy, but Jay for sure. Um, so when he leaves through all of this, Roman is now, I feel like looking at this like, look at what this motherfucker has done to my family, you know? Like, look at this man tore he's essentially torn his family apart. And I feel like we're looking at the cracks in the bloodline for the first time.
Mm-hmm. It's not
I,
all good.
and I feel like this thing is approaching its end sooner than we think. And it's no coincidence that this all still aligns with Cody winning the Royal Rumble.
Yes, absolutely. Because now, to me, and we can go into Raw now, but now you have three forces that are stronger than ever in the fans' eyes. You've got Sami and KO over. You've got Cody over. He's already there. It's time to kind of let this thing reverberate and have this war start. Like Roman said at the end, it's a war. And that's what you're feeling, right? It's like, yo, you've got Sami KO there and they're down for whatever. And now you got Cody. And that promo he cut on Monday was really, really good. And it
Right.
really was like, go ahead.
No, just one more thing. The final visual of KO and Sammy being laid out as all the flowers, all the Samoan flowers that always represent like their brotherhood being strewn upon them. I was like, God damn, that's some good shit.
It's good. But it's also, if y'all are still thinking that it's going to be Sami Zayn at Rumble or at Mania, you are not watching or understanding what this shit is. You're not understanding it. This is essentially, like you said, Meelz, it's always been about KO and Sammy. From the moment that KO said, yo, what the fuck is you doing? Way back when. A long time ago, when he was like, what are you doing, bro? Like, this is weird. But now it's, how do you get them back together? And listen, I'm okay with Sammy facing Roman in Montreal. I'm cool with that. But that's where it needs to stop. And I think that's what they're going to do. You get your moment, but you also have to see that, like, yo, this is essentially about Jay's betrayal, or what he perceives as a betrayal, because he essentially let this guy in the family and accepted him into the family, and now they have to face off with each other for whatever tag belts they'll still have. But Cody and Roman, I'm good. I'm the promo he cut on Monday, Meelz. I was like, yeah, let's do it. I'm with it. I think this is going to be a great fucking match. You got two,
Cody,
you got two fucking dramatic theatric ass niggas in one match, Meelz. How
hey
could it
man,
not be good?
how could it not? This is gonna be as good as it gets. Like, this is gonna be as good as it gets. Cody versus Roman Reigns. Um, they're telling the story. We come back now. They haven't crossed paths yet. I'm not
Mm-mm.
sure what. I'm not sure if they're. I feel like they're gonna wait till after Elimination Chamber, but I don't know. I feel like they should do a soft baton pass kind of thing, to get Cody a little bit involved, but not too much involved. It's like, oh, that's family shit. I don't really know. I got my own family.
They got all of March to do it. I am interested in how they, like you said, eventually have them cross paths. I I'm gonna let it happen, man. We are witnessing right now, Meelz, the end of a 3-year storyline in this company.